Hi guys, Del here, welcome to the channel. Today is just a quick look at an axe puck. So using an axe puck as a sharpener. I like using axe pucks. I like using these on my knives as well out in the field. I think they're really handy and a really good way of sharpening an edge as much as you need, and then just stropping it. But I just wanted to show you just a quick way of how I use these. There's different ways of using them. You'll all have your own ways, but this is just, I'm just going to show you how I use it on an old axe and just to get a good edge on it. So here we have an old cheap axe. This is about a £5 from a well-known store, home store. As you can see, I use this in the van. I use this at work, so it gets used an awful lot, and that's the state of it really. It's blunt as anything. Axes will still mark with the weight, but as you see, I mean, it's not worth it as it is. So that's that. So we're going to give this a little clean up and see how we get on with it. So this is the puck. It has two sides, a coarse side and a fine side. Self-explanatory really with these. Now there's a couple of ways you can use this. I'll show you first. I'll use a landscape honing oil, just put it on the block. I like using this, it's cheap enough. Again, that's about a £5. You can pick up those pucks from a £5 upwards. The good ones are probably about 20 quid. You'll have seen them in the little leather pouches. I don't have any of that. That's just what I carry. So let's take a look at how I sharpen. So I'm going to use the rough edge first, just to take off some of the rust on the blade. They will rust. They rust when you put them in the scabbards. So some people will put that on the surface to do it. Others will do that. Now I move it about, actually on the blade. I hold it and move it about just with my hand, so you can put it in the palm of your hand and do it. Just be mindful of the edge as you get sharper with your fingers, so keep them straight if you want. A bit like feeding the horse really, you get to know the different ways. Now I'm doing the whole of it. The reason why I'm doing all of it and not just the edge just now is I'm just taking off the surface rust with the rough side. Okay, so you can hear it, just a nice circular motion. Apply a firm pressure. You can feel it and you can see it. Now I'm going to wipe this in a wee minute, and you'll see just even what a difference just a couple of minutes does on it. Really, just be very careful with your fingers, guys, if you do it the way I do it. So I'm just going to wipe that. Already you can see the surface rust is off, look, compared to that side. You'll see it feeling smoother already. So we're going to work on the edge a wee bit. I'll do some more on that side and then we'll work on the edge. Apply some more oil. Be liberal with the honing oil. So just angle it ever so slightly. Again, you know you don't need all the calculations and mathematics of the angle right and putting the blade down. You roughly know yourself how it feels if you've got the angle right. So we're just working on that edge now. I'm still using the coarse side. I'm using the coarse side just to break it down a bit. When you're doing my job, you tend to use it for a bit of everything, so you do get some decent chips in it. So I'm just working on the edge now. Again, I like to do it by holding it in my hand. That's just the way I like to do it. So as you see, we've started working on that edge now. It'll take a good bit of work as it's well worn. So I'll just keep working at it with the rough. apply a good firm pressure on it as you're doing it. Be mindful of your fingers as it's getting sharper. What you don't want to do is slip, cut your finger, and then it's contaminated. Everybody worries too much these days about blood poisoning and everything like that. Not like the old days when we used to get crap in our fingers all the time. We're probably better off then, but there you go. So that's starting to clean up nicely. We're starting to get a bit of a finer edge on it. So I'll put a wee bit more oil on it. I'm still using the coarse side. I actually find it quite therapeutic on older axes, to be honest with you. I like this type, doing this type of thing. Just semicircle motion, applying a firm pressure, a firm even pressure. So I'm going to turn it onto the fine side now. And you'll start to see a difference on the edge. You can start to feel a difference with the resistance on the stone too. So you can see there's a good bit of difference on that. Now it's going to take a wee bit of work to get that down, but the edge is getting there on it. We'll just have a quick demo. So already it's biting in better than it was before. Before it didn't even mark it. So it's just a case of just keep working that edge, and we'll keep working on the edge until we get a good, even, fine point on it. Now I'm going to keep at this, and then I'll fast forward it, and hopefully we've got a wee bit of a decent edge on it after about another 10 minutes. So we've been out at about 15-20 minutes in total now. Keep those fingers away from the edge. So you can see a good difference in that already from what it was at the beginning. So you saw how it didn't bite into this in the beginning, so we'll just give it a few whacks and we'll see if it makes a difference already. So there you go. So in the beginning it wasn't even looking at that. So that's how I use the axe puck. You saw the state of that. A simple cheap axe puck with two sides. I use it in the palm of my hand, keeping my fingers tucked into the side when I'm doing the edge, as I don't want to slice my fingers open once I get down to the finer side. You can put it on the ground, but when you put it on a surface you find it moves about, so you'd probably better find a way to secure it. But that was just a quick idea how to use the axe puck, and you saw the difference in the blade that that's on with. So thanks for watching everyone, stay safe, keep prepping, Prepper Del out.